Alright, hi guys. Um, Today I'm going to be doing a quick walkthrough of Native Instruments' new sample library. It's called Kinetic Treats. It's called Treats because it's a gift for the festive season, I guess you could say. Um, it's free at the moment, and it'll stop being free by beginning of January, so the end of December, if I'm not mistaken. Just double check that, but it's a great little instrument for free. I've only played with it briefly, but it's from the sound designer Jeremiah Savage. He's the guy who did Kinetic Metal, and if you'll remember, Kinetic Metal, as the name implies, it was a very fluid and movement type based sample library, and it was just great for everything in terms of sound design, from games to atmospheres and all sorts of things. And of course, you could also create those atmospheres in music. So it was a really cool library. And true to his style, he's actually kept up with that with Kinetic Treats. And again, there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of this and that, and very limited control set, but the sounds are so unique, and the modulation side of it and the effects side of it is so stripped down, but that it still actually becomes like more of a creative tool, and a fun creative tool for that matter. So yeah, I think guys, go pick it up quickly if you can. It's really worth getting for free. I doubt they're going to charge a massive amount for it when it does come out, because again, like I say, it is quite a stripped down sample set in a way. But you'll see what I mean now. It's actually really cool. If you want it, guys, go over to Native Instruments website. It's called Season's Greetings, but I'll put this link in the description so you can go grab it. You simply just click download. It'll ask you for your email address. You pop that in, and it'll give you a serial number to put into your Native Access account. It's that simple. It'll download and install it on its own. So really nice, and a nice free gift from Native Instruments and Jeremiah. But let's dive right into how it sounds, because that's really what's important about it and what'll make it unique. Alright, I've loaded it up into Kontakt. I'm going to start. There's three modules or three sets of sounds. The first is electric train set, the second is a record player music box, and the third is Zyto polyphones. They're all sort of like kids' toys type thing, which then have create a certain effect. You'll see now. Alright, there we go. It's got a great little graphical interface, obviously going with that whole Treats theme. But let's just play. Alright, so you can hear straight away that it's a very unique set of sounds. Now, looking at this, it's quite strange. It's a strange interface, but it's fairly simple. And I also do believe that they made it kind of strange on purpose so that you get creative and just play around. I'm going to walk you through this quickly, or what I know of it, anyways. Which is this dancing music box. It has an on and an off switch. Okay, excuse my phone there for a second. Anyway, it's got on and off switch. I'll get to why now. So does this robot box. Okay. Now, and then there's these little toys in the background. Okay, and this is a tiny little mixer. Yeah. Okay. This, you can mix up and down the signal levels and things like that. This is what you do is, okay, there are two different types of sounds happening at all times. As you'll see if you look at there's a description at the bottom of Kontakt here. It says sets the volume of the toy sample. So this will be the main toy sample volume that you can then mix with the synth samples, and the synth samples are introduced by various elements over here, and I'll get to that now, and just generally various elements of the program. I'm going to put the synth samples nice and high. Because the synth samples really creates the musical side of it. The toy sample creates texture, which is really cool. This is actually, if you just look at the description there, this actually changes the amount of effects. So the mix of all the effects, which is these guys over here. So I'm going to put the mix nice and loud so we can actually hear what is going on. There we go. Alright. Now to get to the way this effects matrix, or whatever you want to call it, works, is that if you look at them, they all do something different. This little rocket does spatial effects. This little golden ball does modulation effects. This one does distortion effects. This does spectral effects, and then we've got a bunch of other options here, and they all just do different types of modulation and affecting. And if you click them, it affects. It's got the two different sets that you can use, and that alone gives you quite a lot of differences in what you're doing. As you see the way it's set up, you select which. That's the one we had, but if you switch to that, now you're wondering, why do you only hear partially the modulation or the effects? Why are you only? Now this is where it gets quite interesting. These boxes, the movement of each character on these boxes, basically these effects get routed to these boxes, and the modulation, as these things move, it modulates or changes the positioning of the effects and things like that. So as I say, it becomes a bit of a matrix that gets routed to. So basically, whenever you move, so okay, so let's look at it in a practical way. That's while it's on, it modulates on its own. Turn it off, and as you'll see, there's no movement, and you also don't hear all that crazy modulation. But then if I move it myself, so as you can see already, just like Kinetic Metal, this has got amazing amounts of, this is a great way of creating sort of like lush textures and sort of ambiences or atmospheres. Yeah, that's it, more like an atmosphere. Fantastic, different kind of things you can do that. But I'm going to turn this one back on, and now let's play with the robot. Turn it more. So there we go. As you can see, just a little bit of playing around and selecting your different types of modulation and effects already gives you quite a few options, despite, as I said earlier, being a little bit limited. It still gives you some great options. Alright, so there we go. That's a nice look, at least at the functionality, and you've heard a bit of how this train sounds on its own, and then just lovely. I really like it already. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the record player module, and oh yeah, I really like this. And you can hear that sort of arm of the record player afterwards. It's really cool. It's really nice and textured. Fantastic, just sounds so great. I love this music box especially. I just something about it. I know I could make some great, even musical type creative. Okay, so this xylo polyphones is basically like a child xylophone, and let's just see. Lovely. I'm gonna turn these off. There we go. That's just fantastic. And now just to just to recap a little bit, this thing is for free. So it's just you look at it and you go, oh, it's 3 modules, got a couple of effects, and it's got like 2 little matrices. It's not much to work with. It's an amazing amount to work with for free. And also, often when something's free, you'd think, well, it's probably not that good. In this case, this is excellent quality, and then it's free as a gift from Native Instruments. It's not because it's a cruddy sample set. I imagine they might expand on it in future and then sell it as a full set. Well, maybe not. Maybe they'll just keep it as this awesome treat for 2016. Either way, I'm happy to have it in my arsenal and to be able to use it. I'm definitely going to actually try and make a whole song where I just use the 3 different modules and, of course, a drum kit of some sort. And just for the fun of it, put it on my SoundCloud or something like that. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, just play around with it, guys. It's a creative tool. I don't think it's supposed to be rocket science. It's supposed to just be played with, and the sounds are fantastic. And remember, if you play around with this little mixing section over here, and you play around with the positionings of these toys, and the effects and modulation section here, you could come up within one module, you could come up with 100 sounds easily. So it's not limited whatsoever. Just go out and have a bit of fun with it. Download it and have some fun this holidays with it. I know I'm definitely going to be doing that. I hope this has been helpful to you guys. Cool, man. Thanks.